Good. Spent the day with my sister, and that's always nice.
That's awesome. Awesome. So I just was able to stream live. It looks like it's getting started on YouTube, and
Mhm.
I'm trying to stream onto Facebook as well, but we shall see. Last time it was giving me trouble saying I didn't have permission to stream to my own group. So we will give it one more try, and if that's not going to work, then we'll just have to post a replay. But welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Let's see how
I'm,
many.
I'm going to go run and get my tea real quick since we're not starting yet. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. And so for those of you that are joining me on YouTube, welcome. I hope that you are available and able to tune in and post some questions. And I am here to answer your questions. We've got a number of events coming up. We'll talk a little bit about what's going on with Little Labradoodle Publishing and in general, some of the upcoming opportunities and activities for you. And if you would like to join us live and work with us inside, ask your questions live here on Zoom, then I will go ahead and publish that link for you as well. So I'm going to go and publish that on YouTube.
Good.
And work. So I'm going to move this, trying to monitor the YouTube side of things while I'm also posting on the other. So let's see if I can add a comment here. I've still not 100% found the best streaming options yet, but I'm working on it. So if you are really good at working on your YouTube videos, going live in your group, and doing everything through Zoom or through another software, post information below in this YouTube so that I can better connect and get a handle on all this technology that seems to be causing me all kinds of pain lately. Okay, so Zoom link I am posting now.
April, I chose a link through the Facebook page, and that brought me here.
Yeah, I did post
Okay.
it on the Facebook page. It's just not streaming. I'm not
I
able
see.
to stream, which is fine. That's not a problem. I'm gonna just mute, but let's see. So if you are joining us live on YouTube, then feel free to post a message and let us know where you are dialing in from, and let us know what kind of questions that you have. So we should just start chatting about what's going on with your book. I did talk with the designer yesterday.
I got your email. I was so pleased to see it.
Yeah, so we will have the ability to launch before Christmas. And I think that's going to be helpful. So it's good for us to get in there and start just making sure that your keywords and your categories and all of that stuff is cleaned up and ready to go so that we are good and just drop those files in, and we allow people to no fuss or muss. It just goes in and it publishes and we get things moving.
And my question, I can type it if you want me to, so everyone can see.
Yeah,
okay. On Amazon, we have the ebook and we have the paperback, and I know that I thought I understood correctly in you saying that we don't need to set up hardback there because that's being printed through Ingram Spark. But how do we get the little icon to come up that says hardback is an option?
Are you talking about on Amazon?
Correct.
ADP? So
yes.
Yeah, so KDP does allow you to have a hardback as an option only if your book has 75 pages or more.
Right.
So
Well,
because children's book authors typically don't, then it's not an option there. But when you go into KDP, it still allows you to like click on it and do something, but it's not going to let you publish without giving you an error saying that you don't have enough pages.
well, then when I see children's books being offered on Amazon and it says ebook, paperback, hardback,
Yes.
how does that little icon hardback get there?
It's all synced up from Ingram Spark, because Ingram Spark is our distribution channel for
Right.
for my students anyway. We are typically, if we're doing print on demand, we're doing the ebook and the paperback through KDP, and then we're doing paperback again and hardcover through Ingram Spark. And
Correct.
Ingram will blast it out to a number of places, Barnes and Noble being one, Amazon being another. So it sends it to Amazon, and then it sees, oh, there's an ebook and a paperback with the same name. It syncs them up. And so
Okay,
that's
so
how
I
you
don't need
see
to
it
do
all.
anything.
Well, sometimes, theoretically, you shouldn't have to, but
Okay.
sometimes it doesn't sync up, or it just gets hung up and doesn't end up syncing up. So then we have to open up a ticket with them and ask them to sync it up for us.
Okay. All right then. Well,
In
good.
general, it should be okay, and we shouldn't have to worry about that.
Okay, good. I finished my A+ content, and I'm happy with my media kit, and I have my launch emails already.
You are styling, so you
So
took
I
every
just
single
hope
step.
I just hope everything on the back end works. So I've been trying to send out little tests to my husband or to a friend and so on and so forth.
Right.
And there are hiccups along the way in
Yeah.
every aspect of life, and whatever they are, I'm sure that we can get through them. But anyway, just
Well, one of the things that I thought if we have not yet gone through the process of grabbing your categories, then we might want to take a look at it. And even if we have done it, we probably should look at it again, because Dave Chesson recently shared more information about categories that I think that everybody needs to be aware of. And it's important. What it boils down to is that when you're selecting those 3 categories now, no longer 10, but we only get 3, there's a potential that we could be selecting a duplicate category, even though they look like 2 different things. It's pointing to the same category and wasting one of our categories. And the second issue is what he called ghost categories, which, if you go all the way into down a path, and then there's a bunch of check boxes, you can, like the growing up facts of life, and then there's a bunch of different things. You get to the end and there's the check boxes.
correct.
Those check boxes are like the ghost categories. They're, one or the other usually. So
I did check those off. Should I have not checked?
well, you can. But if you have 2 of them checked off under the same area, then it ends up being a waste of a category, because they both map to the same category, the higher level.
I see. Okay.
So that's one of the things that Dave Chesson messaged folks about. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and share. Let's see, share this desktop here.
And April, I selected the categories. I did that on my own. That wasn't something you and I did together.
Yeah, let's take the time, since we don't have that many people here. We've got some that are online here. Let me see how many we've got on YouTube. I am seeing, oh, it's not giving me. All right, so not really seeing a good posting that shows me how many people are here. I just want to quickly just check in and see if anybody's posting any questions. Nope, nothing there. So So here is Publisher Rocket. This is Dave Chesson's tool. He is the founder of Kindlepreneur. It has an amazing benefits when it comes to keyword searching and research, but also, and what I love the tool for the most is for category search. So I'm going to click here, and I want to show what comes up when we go in. Let's start by, because your first thing that you're launching is the Kindle, right?
Correct.
So we're going to go to just children's ebooks, and the 3 categories that we pick are going to need to be part of children's ebooks. So let's go on in there. Hopefully this thing will, there. So this is some brand new information. And one thing I love about Publisher Rocket is it seems like every other time that I go in, I've got a notification about Publisher Rocket just got better and they've updated something or they added some new features, and it downloads a new version. And luckily I pay for it once and I get these updates forever, which I really love. So
absolutely,
these are new. This area over here is new. So we have this whole idea of ghost categories. So we see now there's this word ghost. So some of these categories, if we look at this, when you follow the category, children's books, activity crafts and games, activity books, and then fiction, and then general, and then collectibles, these all map back to the same higher level category. So they are what it calls here ghost categories. And in here, it says, if you choose this category, you may want to avoid its sister ghost categories. So the fact that, it might be a great category with just very little competition is fine, but you're seeing ghost categories. So like typically these 3, when we were previously looking at things, it might have said 77 for each one of these. And so if that happened to be 12
right,
for like 2 ghost categories and they're both 12 sales to number 1, we would select them both and say, hey, that's awesome. Now we just need to find one more category. But what Dave has uncovered and what he's making known here is that there's a parent category that this maps to. And so you don't need and you don't want multiple ghost categories. And then there's
basically if you had all 3 that started off the same, they could very well, you're really just getting one.
Exactly. So now you're getting it. And the same thing here with these that are duplicate. So I'm just going to click on this link here that says duplicate for this one here, interactive adventures.
Right.
So it says it's a selectable category. Let me just see. So let's view the duplicate. So when you click on it, it shows that this is another category called, active, hold on, this one and this one are duplicates of one another. So interactive adventures, this comes through a slightly different path, you can see, but they both
end up
are duplicate and you cannot rank in both of them. So it's it's a waste of categories. If you put yourself in one category, it automatically is going to appear in the duplicate category. You do not have to ask for, you don't have to ask for it twice and waste 2 of your categories.
I understand. Once is fine, but certainly not 2 or 3.
So, so tell me a little bit, or tell us a little bit about the topic of your book, so we can kind of help get in and find some good categories for you.
It's a children's book or a kid's book, ages 3 to 7. I have used the words beginner book, and I have used it seemed like I got a lot of good results and hits with the word puppy as opposed to just dog. So I put puppy dogs. But it's about it's about animals, dogs, and that's where I started. Children's book, ages 3 to 5, beginner readers.
Yeah, so there we have the beginner readers. It's not a duplicate category. It's not a ghost
Okay.
category. However, when we look at, if we look at Publisher Rocket, there's this sales to number 1. So you need 81 sales. And if you hover over here, it says this is the number that you need to sell per day to rank for number 1 for this category. So you'd need to sell 81 in one day in order to be number 1 bestseller there. And then it shows you how many for number 12. So this might be a good category here, but what I'm going to do, what I would normally do is I'll just copy that, paste it into the chat feature or into a document that we can save, and then potentially go back and let me just paste it here. So I would normally put that in and say, okay, so sales to number 1, we've got 81. So it's 12 sales to number 10, 81 sales. And then we can use that as we're continuing to move through here. We can find other categories that might be a good fit. So we've got.
And I have to tell you, April, I think I did choose early learning.
Okay. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Beginner readers. And I'm finding that this a little bit slow. I'm not sure if it's my computer or if things have just, because they're figuring out a lot more, it just takes a little bit longer to refresh things. One of the things I wanted to do, because these are relatively new, to see these age groups in here in Publisher Rocket. So now that Amazon is doing this, but they all say that they're ghost categories. So it's quite, I was thinking maybe we'd look at, the 3 to 5 or 6 to 8 age group and see what the sales to number 1 are. But here we are seeing a lot of just categories that are not really, it says allows you to place your book. So the parent category is children's books ages 9 to 12. If you choose this category, you may want to avoid its sister categories. So you're really not getting a subcategory here. There's a higher level category that it's supposed to show us. But I'm not seeing that category here where I could see, oh, well, it's this many sales to number 1. I'm not seeing that in any of the data here. So
are there children's books? I think if I remember correctly, when we were doing it initially, it would say children's books, and then the next category might be science, or it might say animals.
Right. There's a lot of subcategories here. So what I'm doing right now is just searching through Publisher Rocket and putting some different terms that we can look at. So for example, bedtime and dreams. So I know that your book is about wishing, and this child wishes for a puppy. By the way, you might as well plug your book. What's the title of the story?
Miss Carlisle Makes a Wish.
Miss Carlisle Makes a Wish.
Yes.
So when we look at bedtime and dreams, I'm not seeing any sales here to number 1 figure. I see 10 sales. 10 sales. I'm sorry, 1 sale to number 10. So that makes me wonder whether this is really truly correct data, or if there's some new things that are happening here. For example, growing up and facts of life, health, and then bedtime and dreams. They may be rearranging some categories and doing some things that are a little bit different. Same thing with bedtime and dreaming here. This is 22 sales to number 1. So I would probably it doesn't look like these are duplicates of each other. I would probably put them in as a potential category, and I'll go in and put them in. So it's 1, and I don't know what the other one is there as far as number to number 1. And then we've
22. Oh, the first
13,
one, I
yeah,
see.
13 and 22 for the second one. And then the most difficult to rank in will be your dog category. So we can pull that up. Dog
April, can we use, oh, that's right. It does go animals, dog. Okay.
Yeah. So it's animals, dog, and then of course here, this is 311 sales to number 1. Although it's only 23 sales to number 10. So you can get on the first page. But I think the reason that I would still pick dogs is because it is so applicable to your book. Even if it's much harder to rank in, find the most applicable category, choose that one, and then choose 2 others that are maybe less competitive, where you'll have a better opportunity and option of ranking to be a bestseller. So this one I would still recommend that you grab that.
Somewhere along the line too, I don't know if it was one of my categories or if it was keywords, but I used there's something in there for teachers teaching a teaching aid, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's
I may have chosen that.
Yeah, I think it's an education one. One of the ways that I like to use Publisher Rocket also is just kind of going into the high level ebook category or the paperback category. And then just ordering things by number of sales to number 1, so that you can kind of see what are those categories that are easier to rank in. So I'm going to just do that right here. By the way, there's also some additional things here that for those that have Publisher Rocket, this wasn't here before. So we have the ability to look at keywords that are popular for books that are ranking in the particular category, which makes it really interesting, and insights as well. So that can be kind of interesting to see how that works. So right now we've said, I've put this so that number of sales to number 1, smallest to largest are here. I still think that between Amazon and Publisher Rocket, there's some stuff, they're pulling data, but Amazon's not sending data on certain ones, which could be new categories or new arrangement of categories. They could just be ghost categories that are not selectable. But there's some things here, like this one should have something next to it.
You would think that the first one would say 1, some kind of a number. Because you're putting them in
up in the data,
yeah.
But this is by far the best look. Yeah, this is the best look at it. So I probably wouldn't be selecting anything that doesn't have any data here, or I'd be very careful about it because maybe there's something wrong with the category or with the data. So if we scroll down and start taking a look, you can start to see that, there are some categories that might be, 1 sale to number 1 here if your book is about traveling to Asia. So I do have an author that has a travel series that she's getting ready to release. One of the books is about Asia, traveling to Asia. And then there, of course, there are multiple other things, but I have one author that has a book about learning to ride a bike that could go there. Camping, some of these things, they almost make me wonder, could it really be 1 sale to number 1? Or is Amazon, not quite sending the right information? Or perhaps some glitch with the software. But this is what currently, as we're looking at things, the better informed we can be with this tool. And if you don't have Publisher Rocket, I do not. I do highly recommend that you grab it. It's a one-time fee, I think, of like $97. And I do have an affiliate link that I'll post into the chat and to YouTube as well. So I have a get Rocket for Publisher Rocket. So I put that in there for you. And it is
okay.
It's an amazing tool. Like I said, you pay once and it will continue to post and provide you with additional updates for free for the lifetime. I've had it probably now for maybe, I don't know, 5 years, and it's constantly coming up with new things.
Okay.
If we look at, let me just take a quick look at one of these categories quickly. If we click on keywords over here, so this is science, nature, how it works, robotics, one sale to number one. And it says, here are some keywords for this category. These keywords are related to the category and may help you with placement based on Rocket's analysis. Sometimes book titles or author names may find their way into this list. Rocket does its best to remove them, but avoid those in your keyword list. So if you're trying to fill out or get some ideas for keywords, these are some of the things that are other books that are ranking in this category are using some of these keywords. So Rocket has determined these are keywords that are related that you might want to look at, which is nice. It gives you a little bit of insights. And then if we go here onto this insights area, let's see what that pulls up. Monthly sales of categories top 30 bestsellers. Yes, now that I see this, I do see, I have seen this before. So it gives you how many sales to number one, how many to number 10, how many are large publishers versus indie authors, average price, average age of the books that are listing there, the ratings, the page count. It shows category growth, and you can even click here to get more related categories. So it's great for geeks like me that like to analyze things. And if this, as I'm going through this, if you're looking at this as a new author going, oh my gosh, how am I going to figure this out? Come to these events, come to these open office hours, and I'll help you. Or you can set up one-on-one with me, and we'll walk through and do your categories and keywords and get things set up for Amazon. That's one thing that my team and I do every day. I think this week I've probably published 12 books for my authors. So I'm in there, in and out, day after day after day, going through the publishing process. So you can definitely get the help that you need from me. So
April, is there any other way to know whether the categories besides Publisher Rocket, let's say I've chosen 3 categories and the second and the third are ghosts and they just revert right back to the first one. Is there any other way besides Publisher Rocket for me to know that?
I think what I would do is, as you're clicking through the categories, matter of fact, if you wanted to pull up your KDP listing, I can have you share it and I'll show you. But there, it's on, like, those ghost categories are the ones that are the check boxes on the right. So you're navigating through to the different categories in KDP, and then at the very last thing you need to do is check off, the final piece to it, like fiction or nonfiction, or a number of different things like these. Difficult discussions. You can get that far, and abuse is one, and then it's nonfiction, and then there's abuse fiction. So those are ghost categories. So it's those last ticks that you do. Those are typically, from what I'm seeing, those are the ghost categories.
And if I avoid those, I can still choose that category, correct?
You have to choose one. You have to have one checkbox. So what you don't, and that's fine, because you'll still rank in the higher level category. But what you don't want to do is have 2 things chosen.
Okay.
So like here, friendship. So growing up, facts of life, and then you get down to, like, let's see, where's another ghost? So friendship, social skills, and school life, and then there's manners. Well, there's also this is nonfiction and fiction. I'm trying to see if there's others that are maybe different. besides just the nonfiction and fiction check marks. I think there are other areas that have, okay, here's some multicultural stories, general. So that's one, like a little tick box that when you get through this far and you get
Uh-huh.
to multicultural stories, you have a few check boxes. One of them is general.
Yeah,
And
right.
there's a couple of others. Maybe it's, there's other things under multicultural. And if you're choosing more than one, you're just wasting a category.
I
So
have to say, it does lead you to believe, though, that you're doing the right thing, when in
yeah.
reality,
So that's one of the reasons why I love following Dave Chesson. I love the Publisher Rocket tool because it brings a lot of this stuff to light. So
okay.
I hope that was helpful in, helping you to understand how that what you are doing could be, we only have 3 categories, right? So we do need to make sure that the ones that we choose are the very best that we can do. Hi, Lee. Welcome. So nice to see you.
Hello. I have been talking to Denise, and Denise says, I said, I'm having a heck of a time that Wednesday. Oh, I'm lost where I was supposed to be going, and sorry I'm late. I was trying to get on there. And then I said, yay, I made it. So Denise and I have been talking. She's been very helpful. She's like a duck to water, man. She go like, oh, you can do this, you can do this. So she's been.
I know. I love that. I love that about having the author group and the community of authors helping each other. I did speak with our designer today, actually yesterday, in the wee hours of the morning, I should say. But your book, I saw, he generated the files and it's ready to upload and get everything moving. So the baddie book, What Do Bats Eat, is ready to upload. And I think we're just waiting to drop in the files. I think we've got everything else ready to go, right?
Well, I'm going to need to make some time with you to make sure, because Denise has been very good, and we've been talking to Lori, and so I think we've gotten so far. And as you have discussed, it does take the bat book and the different keywords. It's not really one of the more popular subjects, I've noticed. So I thought, oh no, this is what she talked about.
Well,
But
I think with Halloween coming, and I also think that there's a lot of teachers and homeschoolers will be very interested in some of the nonfiction things that you have in there about what do bats really eat, and some of those things are fun stories and great opportunities to introduce kids to animals and that they wouldn't have learned about otherwise, probably.
And I think the illustrations, because when I was doing that Katie Spy, looking at, okay, does my book fit into this category? So what you were doing is the look, and I'm going like, oh, that's kind of scary, or they look like real bats, where Caitlin has done the illustrations so that they look creature friendly. Is that a good way of saying it?
Yeah.
So that when you look at it, then you're not as scared. And then you said, oh, look what bats do, and some of the interesting facts about them. Bat facts is what we're saying. So when Denise said, well, look, I think we're doing Zoom, and so I apologize, I was late. I was trying to figure out how to get on, where you were going, because I think at one time you were on Facebook. So if I can set up some time with you, and do I need to talk to your assistant?
No, I'll once we finish here, I'm happy to just once I end the live broadcast, I'll just go into my calendar and we'll get you set up.
Okay, great. Thank you.
No worries.
Thank you.
I do have time this week, and I want to make sure we get that updated and get you ready to go. So awesome.
Thank you.
Let's see who else we have online. Hi, Pat. Oh, Pat was here and she dropped. Hi, Alicia. Welcome. Feel free to unmute yourself if you have any questions as well. Okay.
If Alicia's not going to talk, I think Denise and I were talking about, since we were in Amazon, and I'm so sorry, I tried to look at the pricing page, because I remember you had said that be careful when you put the price on, because it puts it in the different currencies.
Right.
And so when I was on that page, I'll be doggone if I could remember, because I thought, oh, I've got to go back and go look. I could not remember what the pricing was, because you said if you mess with it too much, you may be in trouble, because it changes to that. I thought, oh, I don't need any more trouble.
It's usually Ingram Spark that has the issues with pricing.
Okay.
KDP does a good job of rolling it down. So with Ingram Spark, if you like accidentally like hit the arrow up and down or something, and it puts a price in, then
Okay.
all of a sudden none of the like rolling down kind of features work. So it's
Okay.
like you got to look up the information and the
Oh,
currency
okay.
conversion, or open it up separately with you know, going into KDP and look at the prices there and just make them match, you know. So
Okay.
yeah, it can so it's a little kludgy. And I think Ingram Spark updates, recent updates are better. The
Okay.
website is stopped doing some really weird things that it was doing. And now I'm starting, but there are still some things that they could be improved on, and that's one of them.
Was it,
And
was it
April,
the, oh, go
that
ahead,
was
Denise.
either, I think, can't remember whether it was you or Lori that had asked, was it 35% that
That's
you
what-
choose or 70%? And
Thank you. That's what I was gonna ask.
I
Yeah,
couldn't find it in my notes anywhere, what we all talked about.
Yeah, so Denise, are you okay with like pulling up and sharing your KDP?
Yes,
'Cause I'd
absolutely.
like to use that as an example and guide you through, and it'll help others also who are online watching as well.
Okay, if you'll just give me a minute to do that, maybe
No
you can.
problem, no problem. Yeah, let's go to Alicia. Alicia, welcome.
Thank you. Where is my video?
I just did a request, so you should see it pop up.
Yeah, I can put on my, hold on. I'm trying to put on my video, but it won't work.
That's okay.
Okay.
How can I help you?
April, me and Bobby Hinman are connecting with each other. I've been trying to, we're trying to exchange manuscripts on the email, and she's telling me which ones are have the most potential to
That's
work
wonderful.
on.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, and then my question is, once we are done with the manuscript, is that the time to send it to you to choose which package I'm going to do, which publishing package?
Okay. So I'll start back and just talk about, so you mentioned Bobby Hinman. For those that don't know Bobby, she is like a super editor. My number one editor that I always recommend for people that are doing picture books. She is amazing. I'll put her contact information also here. Fairybooklady@gmail.com, and her name is Bobby Hinman. Best Fairy Books. She is a 28-time, she's won 28 picture book awards. Best picture book series, I think, was in 2018 when she did all of her fairy books. And she's been editing and in the children's world arena probably 30 years now. So she is amazing. And when Alicia came to me originally and said, I have these stories, I'm not sure which ones I should focus on, I've got a lot to choose from. My recommendation to Alicia was, go and send these over to Bobby. She will take a look at them and she'll help you figure out which ones she thinks has maybe should be elevated to be done sooner rather than later. Bobby also goes through the editing process with you, and she'll start with a developmental edit. And Alicia, when she gives you the response about which ones she thinks have the most potential, she'll also let you know, based on what she's seeing, the price to edit that book, that story for you, that picture book. If it's rhyming, it might be a little more complex, but Bobby is an amazing rhyming editor. So she will give you the pricing for the editing. And I would say, go ahead and move forward. If you only want to do one at a time. If you want to do more than one, then you can, get more things into the queue. Because I think now that our author work group finished, she probably has some space and time to do some more editing. So next step would be working, going through that with Bobby. So editing is the first part of it. Next part will be starting to look at some of the illustrators' artwork out there. And I'm happy to share with you, some of the illustrators that I work with regularly that you can trust. If you are looking for me to pull together a package for you that includes editing and illustration and graphic design, and like take my dream team and roll it into a package for you, I'm happy to do that. So if that's what you're asking for, I'm happy to do that for you. And I can absolutely pull that together. So as soon as we have an opportunity, whoops, I don't know what happened to my my video here. Hold on. Oh, there we go. It's back on. I need to watch out on what wires I touch. I guess I got one loose wire here that's making my video go on and off. So yes, I'm happy to do that. And most of what I do is train people how to go and do their publishing, self-publish their books. But I do, on occasion, for folks like you that really need the help in actually doing it for them and, putting a package together and managing that for you, I'm happy to do that. And I will put that together. So we just need to get Bobby's recommendation. And then you and I can meet and we can go over and take a look at some of the sample illustrations for some of the illustrators that I work with. I would say low price, low budget would be $1,000 for illustrations for a picture book. I would rather see you spend $3,000. I spent $7,500 on my first illustrator. So there's a wide range of the art styles, the quality, the experience, the level of detail that goes into illustrations. So as you go through and you and I kind of pick, okay, this is my budget, how can we make that fit? I will help you drop the right people in. We'll look at some illustrations, we'll look at designers, and we'll put in a package that works for your budget. Or you can do it the other way and say, show me the different illustrators, and then whichever one that you are more drawn to, we can kind of budget along to that level of detail, because things are very different. The level of art can vary so much that the package and how much pricing would be is customized based on an interview and a little bit of time with you and I together.
Yes, ma'am. So after we finalize the manuscript, me and Bobby, after we finalize, we go to illustration, and then you give me a publishing package that we could work on.
Yeah, well, I'll give you the publishing package amount, like as soon as Bobby is done with her assessment.
Yes.
And have that information. We'll get back together, you and I, and I'll walk you through some of the different options and different price ranges. And then I'm happy to include some of my a project manager that will kind of take this and marshal it through the process with you and for you.
I'm excited.
Good.
I'm excited.
Well, and these other two ladies are here after going through a 12-week author group with me, and they're getting ready to publish on their books, right? They've done the same thing that you just did. So I don't know if you guys have anything you want to share.
It's a fun-filled journey, Alicia, and you'll learn a lot. And April will hold your hand and guide you. So you're in good hands.
I know. That's why I chose April.
Very
So
good.
I'm so happy to have you. And yes, I'm here to help you. For those of you out there that really say, I want to learn how to do this myself, then I'm here to teach you to do it yourself. And I'm going to be enrolling a new group into my self-publishing course, and that's going to be opening up in just another couple of weeks. We're going to open up and start taking early bird enrollments. And that's going to be a huge opportunity for those of you that would like to get your editing and start the illustrations on it, get that out of the way. And it's a course, it's a 12-week, but we meet live, we go through, and you have an online course that I've put together. So there's that as an opportunity, and that the type of person that works really well for is somebody that feels really comfortable with technology. They love to learn, they love to be a part of a community, and there are people that are really thrive with that. And then there are others that just, either don't have the time, don't have the technical knowledge to be able to work through that themselves, or they just don't want to. I have a busy surgeon that, she's like, no, thank you. I don't want to do groups. I just want you to, work with me one-on-one. We get in, we get out once a week, and you take care of things in between. And so I do that with her. And I have other people that are publishing books and doing things, and they just need a little bit of extra hand-holding in certain areas. So while I'm thinking about that, I'm going to go and show you guys, let's see, desktop one. I have some new events. selfpubmadesimple.com is the website. And if you click on upcoming events, just a lot of really cool, exciting things happening. So first of all, these informational sessions and Q&A, I'm going to be doing them twice on Wednesdays, one during the afternoon, 1 p.m. Eastern, for those that, daytime works best for them, and certain time zones, the 8 p.m. hour in the evening doesn't work well. So I'm doing now Wednesdays at 1 p.m. and 8 p.m. I'm just here to talk through things, go through, examples, do exactly what we're doing here right now. And those things are just informational. It's Q&A. I may find a topic to walk through, maybe a little bit about AI or how to find a good illustrator, maybe bring on a guest to just chat about editing. So those are just free, my way of giving back to the community and working through your questions. And then I have these sessions here. One of my number one biggest things that have been requested is, April, can you help me understand Amazon ads? So I put together, and if you are someone who follows my channel, then you know that, intro to Amazon ads, keywords, categories, all of those things I'm a bit of a geek. So I love that stuff. So I decided to put together some small groups, and it's, 5 people at a time that are in. So that's why you see so many of these different options: intro to Amazon ads, different times, different days to try to accommodate. So I've got 3 sessions for the intro to Amazon ads. And then I have analyzing and adjusting Amazon ads, which are the advanced, well, it's not advanced, but in the first one, it's a 2-hour workshop. It's going to be hands-on. We're going to walk through some things. I'm going to show you some things. You're going to set up your ads. We're going to go through that process together. And then once you've set up your ads, when you come back and you do the analyzing and adjusting, we're going to take a look at, okay, how are they performing? Because a lot of people take Amazon ad challenges and things like that. They set up a bunch of ads and then they don't know what to do with them now that they're out there, and maybe they're not converting. So these are things that I am working on, and so these, you can come and register for these events. There's limited seating, and I do have, I think it's $49, and maybe with my mastermind group, you get 30% off. So it ends up being like $30 for a 2-hour introduction to Amazon ads. Same thing with the Amazon advanced one, where we're learning to adjust. So this is my way of helping some of these authors that are just graduating from my course to say, okay, now let's make sure, especially because we're here and it's almost Christmas. So getting those Amazon ads churning and moving and converting is really important. And you need to have the hand holding and the help. Then I'm here to do that with you. So we're doing that in a workshop. There's also, you'll have the option, I think it's in the analyzing one, where you can upgrade to like a VIP. And so for you know, a little bit higher price, but not as much as getting a one-on-one session with me, you will get an additional 1 hour with me working on your ads one-on-one, so that you can upgrade. If you prefer to also have some one-on-one time to do that, then you can upgrade and go through that. And then I also have some great sessions here. We've got a video. Valerie McTavish is going to be talking about breaking through imposter syndrome. She is a wealth of knowledge and information about clarity and putting yourself out there and learning to communicate and to just get out of your shell and start reaching out to the community, and how you can use video to help that happen. So that's one event that also is here that you can register ahead of time. And then I also have, I have Julie Broad from Book Launchers, who is going to be here talking about book marketing. And so these are all fantastic events. If you're a member of my mastermind, then they're all free for you, other than the workshops that we just talked about. It's like, you know, ends up being like $30. If you are not a member of my mastermind, which is, by the way, it's $17.99 a month, so it's not a huge investment, or you can pay for 10 months and get 12 months. So if you invest in the mastermind membership, all of these things that I'm putting on calendars, some additional Q&A specific, because we meet as a mastermind group twice a month, plus the workshops and things, those kinds of things are, you know, you have significant reduction in cost, and the mastermind is a free 30-day trial. So if you sign up for mastermind and it's not for you, then you can just cancel it before anything moves on to billing you. So it's another way for me. The mastermind group was a way for me to take those people that were just finishing 12 weeks together and say, yeah, you're not going to lose everybody. Let's move you guys into a mastermind. We'll keep the learning going. We'll keep doing group things. We'll bring in great speakers. And so these are some of the things that I wanted to let you guys know about. And then I have one more event coming, which is it's the Author to Authorpreneur Summit, which I am hosting. And you're going to hear more about it, but it's going to be completely free. It's going to be a week-long virtual summit where people can go in and learn all about the business side of things. There's a lot of summits out there that have talked about how to write children's books, how to write books in general, how to launch well, how to market your book. But what I felt was really missing out there was something that really spoke to how do I go from, hey, I'm a writer, to I'm now an author because I published, to, oh my gosh, this is a business. What kind of skills do you need? What kind of business formation? What kind of taxes? What, you know, what, there's mindset things. There's so much that we could talk about on the business side and entrepreneurial side of things. Different streams of income, how to, you know, what kind of bookkeeping you should be thinking about and tracking for yourself, what kind of reporting you need to do for tax purposes. So much, so many questions that as new business people, once you're published, unless you're doing it just for yourself, it is a business. You've got expenses that you've had that you can write off. You've got income coming in that you're going to need to claim. So I decided to host this, and it is going to be Let me just get the exact date here. It's November. Let's see. Let's do a quick look at my calendar, which I closed out of. So hold on. It's the actual, like the first full week of November. I believe it's November 6th. That's the Monday. I'm just going to double check here really quick. So calendar.
So now April, information is going to be coming out on that soon, so we can sign up.
Yeah, I've got my web guy working on the sign up form. So I'm expecting to have that done this week so that people will be able to sign up for free tickets. And just like other events, these are going to be, other virtual summits. It's going to be free to attend all of these. And then I'm pulling some VIP like special things from the speakers to anybody who wants to upgrade from the free access to a VIP. It's probably going to be like $49. And then you will get a ton of value from that and access to the videos forever. So I think there'll be that level will also be available, but I'm expecting to have a sign up with people to just be able to register and opt in for the event. And again, the dates is November 6th to the 10th. So that's
is it gonna be all day, or is it gonna be like a 2-hour?
I think it depends on the total number of speakers, but I'm probably I'm not somebody that loves to have like jam-packed sessions that people can't have access to. Or they can't possibly watch all of them in one day. I would much rather people, spread it out over that week. And then depending on how many speakers will be how long it'll go. I would say a few hours minimum per day that'll be available, but it'll be on demand. I'm just going to unlock the sessions for day one at the beginning of the day. Then I'll unlock the sessions for day two. I'm not, so it'll be just each day, the sessions for that day will be unlocked and they'll be available through the end of the week. And then at that point, for those that want to upgrade to the premium pass, then they'll be able to access them forever. But also there's going to be a ton of value in there, courses and other things that you'll get as special gifts from the speakers and sponsors that will make, the $50 mark or whatever to upgrade to premium. It'll make that like a no-brainer, because there's going to be a lot of amazing gifts and things that will be exclusive to the VIP members.
And like you said, we can go back and
Exactly.
access them, because sometimes we do that and you go like, oh, it makes sense. And then I forget, and then I go back and check it out later.
You're not the only one. I do that myself as well, where, I know so-and-so said something that I wanted to go back about marketing, and, there you can't possibly absorb everything in a big summit like that. But what's helpful is every time you go back and you watch some of these things, or if you're going for a walk and you're just listening into them, having the ability to take those with you on a phone while you're walking and listening to it like a podcast, that'll be available as well. Because I've got the downloadable mobile app that you'll be able to use to listen in. So there's going to be a lot of really cool things that we're doing, and lots of exciting things coming, not to mention the new work group that'll be starting up shortly.
April, did you still, oh,
Sorry,
April,
go ahead.
April, did you still want me to share my screen?
Sure.
Or
Yeah,
okay.
sure. I wanted to just answer that question for you before we wrap up.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Denise. that was going to be my question. So thanks.
Okay. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to move it over to here where I can look straight at it. Okay. So Miss
Okay.
Carlisle makes a wish.
And
Beautiful.
so I'm going to open this up here, correct?
Yes. So the Kindle book, when you go in, your question was, again, the pricing when would you choose 30% versus 70%, right? So
Right.
we can scroll through this too and take a look. You've got categories already selected. So it doesn't look like these are stepping on each other or anything that's a shadow category. So that looks good.
Okay.
We can also stop for a moment and show people, because I think we did on the keywords here, we talked a lot about this in class together. And so you're putting together not just one or two words, but really utilize those 7 keyword phrases. These are phrases that, and in some cases you can keyword stuff. In others, just having a keyword like children's books, wishing for a dog, ages 3 to 7. That keyword phrase we did analysis on, and it came up with high potential, not
Popularity, income competition.
It was very popular. So it was green, green, green on Katie Spy. And we were like, that's great, perfect. Put it exactly like that. What I do see here, Denise, is that you've got some commas with special, love, care, concern. So you don't need any punctuation between things. So you can go ahead and remove the commas
Oh,
on there.
I wasn't sure about that, so I actually didn't have them, and I couldn't remember what we did.
Yeah, so
Okay.
as we're setting up Amazon, we're looking at this going, okay, what are, we're going to have, I'd say, a few of those green, 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 golden keyword phrases that are going to be perfect for your book. And then in the rest of them, we can keyword stuff related things like you did: special, love, care, concern, guide, communication. Like that's stuff that you did, you kind of were able to keyword stuff and take advantage of all of what's there, because this is an opportunity to tell Amazon what this book is all about. Could you go back up for a second? I saw that your description seems to be a little lacking here.
This is my summary that's on the back of the book.
Okay, so let's take a moment just to think about this. So the blurb at the back of your book is usually very short and sweet. It's more, it's very succinct. It's not exactly the same thing I would use for a description.
Okay.
I would probably, try to flesh this out. Number one, you want to think about who your target audience is. What is it about your book? Why should, and I'm your target audience, right? I'm a grandmother buying books for my grandkids who are in the age group that this book is for. I am a dog lover, besides all of that. So this dog book, this cute dog book is going to be appeal to me. But what can you tell me? Like what is a differentiator for your book? Why should I buy it for my grandkids? Like thinking, not necessarily just using the description to tell the story, but tell me, like speak to me in, a strong hook that's going to stop my scroll. A first sentence after that makes me go, yeah, this is good. Let me click, read more, right? So I want to be able to see more. And then some information about why I should be clicking.
What value does it bring?
Exactly. And I've seen a
And-
lot of people just going and writing the story. So this happens, and then this happens, and then this happens. And no, we want to know, this rhyming story is it will help your early readers with reading and pronunciation. It's engaging for early readers. It's got bright colors for reluctant readers, whatever it's for you. And this book, there's very whimsical illustrations. It is fun. It's all about wishing and
Okay. I think I may have
what you have.
all the things that you're describing. I think I may have one little caption on my A+ content that I
Beautiful.
used that I might want to add, or can I use it in both spots, my A+
can.
content?
You
and
can.
the summary?
I would probably try to paraphrase it a little bit so it's not verbatim the same exact thing.
Okay,
And then the other thing you can do is you can take it and plop it into Chat GPT and say,
oh, yeah,
you know, you are an expert at writing Amazon descriptions for children's book authors. Here's the book, here's the blurb, here's the values that this book provides. And you can just like stream of consciousness, blah, put it out there and
right,
ask ChatGPT to give you no more than 3 paragraphs that will speak to your target reader with a strong hook. Tell it about your target reader, right? Dog lovers,
mhm,
grandparents and parents with kids in this age group. Give it a lot of information and then ask it to summarize it into a nice succinct description. And it blows me away every time at what the generator comes back with.
I've seen some of what you've done and it does. You're absolutely right. I'm going to do that. And so would you skip the summary completely? The one that I have here?
I think this is fine for the back of the book. So you're saying Miss Carlisle loves dogs, all dogs. She has always wanted a dog. As a matter of fact, dogs show up everywhere in Miss Carlisle's life. She makes a wish. So see what you're doing here? You're telling me the story instead of telling me why I need this book. I mean, it's okay to say it's a story about wishing and hoping and celebrates a love of dogs. Like those kinds of things are great. You tell me that, but don't necessarily have to say, you know, what is happening and unfolding in the story because you're giving it away and then you don't want,
Okay,
you know, want it to be more
I'll
about
work on that.
differentiation. Yeah. So
I will definitely work on that.
so now let's keep going. You've got this new question here about, okay, so right now you're going to be releasing your book. Are you doing a pre-order? Because what we want to do is have a pre-order for this book, right? We want to launch it for 99 cents. So what I would do is go to the bottom here where it says I am ready to release. You're going to change that to make my Kindle book available for pre-order. Yeah. And then what's the release date for the ebook? We want to put that date there. Do you have that in the schedule that we put together?
No, I do not.
So
I don't feel comfortable with a date as of yet.
okay.
So
Let's do it for fun and we'll change it when we have the actual information coming back from the designer.
okay.
Let's click on that calendar. Your book is supposed to be through design by the end of the month. So I would probably put 17th for a launch for the ebook. That'll give you a little bit of extra time. And then you can always go back in and tweak it if you need to have it done earlier or later, as long as you are with, as long as you do it early enough.
Okay.
So now let's go ahead and save and continue. The next one is content. And since you don't have the interior of the ebook yet, there's nothing that you need to upload as far as the interior. We've already uploaded this beautiful cover. So that's perfect. That's all you need when you want to put your book on pre-order.
Okay.
So now it's asking, are you sure that you have not used AI tools in creating the book? So you can you have to click.
No, the answer is no.
So no, you have not used AI.
No.
And now you have everything else you need. So now go ahead and click save and continue. Oops, there's an error.
Highlighted.
Yeah.
No.
So we're not uploading anything now. And the digital rights management is something that some people are really militant about. At the top, there is a question about digital rights management. That is typically something that will lock your book down to the computer that downloads it. I never want to prevent people from opening things on multiple computers and I know some people will say, oh, well, I don't want people sharing it with others. I want everybody to have a copy of my book. And if one
Mm.
person bought an ebook and they want to share it on their grandchild's tablet, I'm okay with that. So I just leave it.
Right.
So now we're on the pricing page, and this is where you were talking about, your question was pricing, royalty, and distribution. So if you click on 35%, that's the royalty plan. And now do you see how it says minimum 99 cents? So you can click on your list price for Amazon.com and put the .99.
April, I can change this, right? And the only reason I say it is because I know that my illustrations are currently in 2400 DPI.
Yeah, that's okay. They're gonna take care of all of that for you when they go through the design process.
Okay.
So what happens now, so we went to, with ebooks, you can have a royalty plan where you can say, I want to take the 35% royalty plan versus I want the 70%, like I want 70% of the royalties split, and Amazon, you can take 30. Why would anybody want to do 35%? Well, here's a couple of reasons. First, if you click on 35%, before you ever upload your ebook and you do a pre-launch, you can launch at 99 cents because there's a minimum of 99 cents there. Now, if you click 70%, so if you click the 70%, the minimum is $2.99. So I would much rather launch the ebook and tell people, go grab it for 99 cents. And I want my launch team to spend $1. And it is you're going to get a lot more value than that from everything that I'm doing and how I celebrate with my launch team and give them bonus special stuff. But when they spend the 99 cents on your book, now that's counting as sales. So, you're going to end up probably before your ebook ever actually launches as a #1 new release. As long as you're driving your launch team, your street team, and you're getting the word out and doing your marketing, then you're for sure going to have more than 12, 14, 15 people buying it at 99 cents in a 24-hour period.
I hope so.
If you do that, you're going to have that bestseller, the #1 new release. It's great accolades for you. You can submit a press release and put it on your website, do all of those things that you want to do. So that's one reason. Another reason is that if you're selecting 35%, it doesn't charge delivery fee. So you see to the right of the price, there's a delivery, $0.
Right.
When we upload your ebook, especially for people who are maybe working with formatters that are not very familiar with children's book formatting, the files tend to be huge. And I've seen where the delivery fee, which is it's just a credit that Amazon takes to account for the fact that they've got bandwidth going out to deliver these ebooks. And as a result, they take that off the top. I've seen delivery fees of $2.50 on an ebook that you're charging $2.99 for, right? So
Right.
if you are on the 70%, the delivery fee comes off, and then 70-30 split with you keeping 70 and Amazon getting the other 30. But if you have a huge delivery fee because the file is too large, maybe there's a good reason for it to be that large. My recommendation is find a better formatter, find somebody that can bring it down smaller. But in that case where the delivery, you can actually make more money at 35% royalty because there's no delivery fee versus 70% where there is a delivery fee. So just look at the royalty on the right side and see how that changes depending on what your selection is. And that's the confusion that you had. What do I choose? Which one is it? So you've got two really good reasons why you would be able to move forward one way or another. And now
So
we've gone
It sounds
through-
like 35% is the way to begin.
right now, yes. And when you come back and you upload your files, it might say, you know, okay, you now have to update your price because the file has been uploaded. Now you need to charge $1.99 because we see it's a larger file. You can't do it for a minimum of 99 cents anymore. It really
Okay.
depends on the size of the file. So,
Okay,
but you're pre-launching at 99 cents. So anybody from the time you put the pre-order out until the time you actually upload your files before it goes live, those people that get it for 99 cents get it for 99 cents. So, and then when you have to upload the file because it's getting ready, you know, your deadline is coming, you have to upload your file, you might be forced to up the price. So even if
Okay.
it's $1.99, then some people, you know, may have to go and pay the $1.99 for your launch for your ebook.
okay,
But
so April, I
it's
don't
coming.
have a pre-order email that I have prepared. Is that something separate from asking people to join my launch?
So I would say it's more of a join my launch team. This is what you get, and this is what is involved. So I need you to, you know, help get the word out about my book. So share information about the book. Great. And as if you want to join my launch team, I would appreciate, it's not required, but I would appreciate if you would purchase the 99-cent ebook during, you know, pre-order it or
Okay.
purchase it during launch, because that's going to help me get to the bestseller. So,
Okay,
and if you want to wait for a week while you're like laying all that foundation before you officially click to have your book available for pre-order, then that's perfectly fine. Honestly, if you had already felt comfortable that you've got everything out, people know it's coming, which I think they do. You could just click publish here right now and it would be available tomorrow for pre-order.
I think I'll wait a week. I would like to, or if I don't wait a week, I would at least like to at least send my join the launch and
Yeah.
let people know. I guess if it is just sitting there,
Mhm.
then it'll just sit. Is the time that it sits there going to make a difference if nobody, let's say nobody buys it for 99 cents in the next 24 hours?
So I would say, you're very wise at wanting to know, to be ready for it, because when you publish that book, then your clock starts ticking with Amazon.
Okay,
So I've heard it referred to as the 30-day or so honeymoon period, where Amazon drives traffic and helps put your book out there, and you get a little bit of extra love from Amazon, not to mention the fact that you're driving your own traffic. So Amazon likes that when you're driving traffic to your listing. You're getting indexed for things, you're working on reviews. So that first 30-day period is really critical, that you are doing what you can to drive traffic to continue to nurture and grow, you know, setting up ads, doing what you need to get your book indexed for all of the things that it should be indexed for.
okay. Well, then I'm not going to click that button tonight. I
But
would like,
now,
I
but now your confusion is gone. You feel more comfortable with the reason
Abs-
why behind all of this?
absolutely.
Okay.
I feel a lot better. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Pat, you had a question? Go ahead.
Yes, at what point should she raise to the 70%?
You feel more comfortable with the reason why behind all of this? Sorry, I'm hearing some
A lot better. Yes.
background noise.
Feedback.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's feedback from YouTube. Okay.
Yes.
So I would say I would leave it at the 99 cent. And let the launch happen. And then your book launch, I like to try to leave a week and a half or even a couple of weeks before your print book goes live, where you have your ebook out there for 99 cents. You're uploading it, and potentially it could end up jumping to $1.99 or $2.99, depending on the size of your book. So when you have to change the price, or you decide, all right, it's no longer 99 cents special, hurry up and go grab it, then go ahead and, after that first week, go ahead and update it to the $3.99 or whatever you're going to be using as the regular price for the ebook launch.
And then 70%.
And then, yeah, when you update it to that higher amount, and you've already had to upload your file, now you're going to look and say, which one will I make more money on, 35% or 70%? And that's going to really depend on how large your file is.
Okay.
Make sense, Pat?
Yes, makes sense.
Okay. So, perfect. Thank you for sharing, Denise, with that question. And Lee, did that
Okay.
give you what you needed as well to answer your questions? for your
Absolutely.
clients?
No,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Thank you,
Perfect.
Denise.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, April.
All right. And any final comments, questions before we wrap it up for the day? I think we went a little bit over, but this was really important stuff to walk through. And congratulations, ladies, for your preparations and getting ready to launch these books. I
Yeah.
can't wait to see this. So many of them from the group going live for Christmas.
I have a
Yeah.
comment, April,
Yeah, go ahead,
just-
Pat.
just real quick. I would highly recommend taking those workshops that April's going to give on Amazon ads. I have found in the past, it's easy to maybe make an ad, an Amazon ad, but what is difficult is the analyzing and the adjusting. And that's where you would really need some help. And that's where April comes in, because I have 3 books out now, thanks to April, and they wouldn't be published without her. But I do go to her to help me to analyze and adjust the ads. That's my only comment.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you for
the-
that, Pat.
Yeah,
Thank you,
so
Pat.
the goal is especially, and I think it's all that much more urgent at this time of the year, because it takes a good month or two, maybe even a little more than that, to go from, ads that are just brand new, Amazon learning about what works for your book, what is your book about, the terms that you are listed on your keyword, the 7 keyword phrases. Those are great starts for Amazon. They look at your title and subtitle and categories you've selected. And then they know, that much about your book. They also know about the buyers that come to them to purchase books. So they're trying to match things. And you probably understand a little bit about the fact that Amazon ads kick in, and then there's, you have the ability to pay for a higher ranking, right? So you want, if people search for children's books about dogs, maybe you want to pay a little bit per click to get your name out there on those kinds of keywords. And in order to do that, there's lots of things that have to happen for your book to rank on those things. When you first start ads, it's going to be, the Amazon algorithm is going to be learning. And then when you start, a couple weeks goes by and you're actually seeing how things are working, you're able to say, okay, these words are converting. These terms are just not converting at all. It's just money right down the toilet by keeping those out, and trying to make the algorithm smarter about your book. And so it's all about dialing those ads in, getting rid of those things that are not converting, taking the ones that are and making it even better, giving it more runway, giving it more budget, and then finding out in the search terms that are kind of hidden behind the scenes, if you don't know where to look, how are people finding your book? How are they landing on your page? There's a whole thing that you can take a look at that's, oh, wow, I didn't think about that keyword. They might have found you because you had dog books, but there's maybe a longer tail keyword or a related keyword where Amazon still showed your book. But if you take a look and you can learn, oh, all of these other ones came in, that's how people came to me. Those are additional keywords you can add. And there's lots of things you can do, like targeting other authors' books and categories. Some of them will convert. Dog categories, probably very expensive, but there might be other categories that you can target in Amazon ads that will do better for you than others. And you don't know. It takes, some time to go through, some trial and error. There's no one size fits all or one answer that works for everybody. Pat, I know you've been doing a lot of this yourself. I see your hand. Go ahead and tell us what you.
Just my final comment, because I know it's getting late. As self-publishers, we don't have a publishing house behind us to promote our book. And Amazon for self-publishers, whether people like Amazon or not, that is the place. Your book is on Amazon. In order to really promote your book, you have to drive traffic to that book. And the way to do it are Amazon ads. So you've got to get to know how to use them, or to go to April to get help when you do. It's imperative that you drive that traffic to Amazon, especially now that the season is coming up for the holiday. That's when you're really in this fourth quarter going to sell your book. That's my only comment. Thank you, April.
Yeah, so and here we are in September. So if it takes a couple of months to get things, working, then at least you're kicking it into full gear by the time the Christmas season is at its peak and people are doing their Christmas buying. So there's no time to waste at this point. If you've wanted to learn Amazon ads and you want some hand-holding, some small group sessions, then go to selfpubmadesimple.com and go to the upcoming events and sign up for some things. Again, it's small group. You'll have a lot of attention individually. And we have the intro, which is just kind of an overview. Again, it's still hands-on, 2 hours of just focused training and hands-on attention. And then the advanced one, there's multiple sessions out there. Pick one that works for you and join us, and let's tweak those ads and work through that so that we can get things really selling and get you ranked where you need to be for the holidays for your book. All right,
Okay.
I will end on that positive note. Thank you, ladies, for joining, and thank you
Okay,
everybody
thank you.
live watching. Feel free to post those questions if there's something that came up that I did not answer, and I will go back and personally answer all of those posted. Have a
Now, are
great
you in a
day.
position you're going to set up a time with me?
Yeah. So hang on while I stop the
Thank you.
recording, and I'll stop the share.